Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Ow, that stupid light. There we go, problem solved. Today I will be doing my 500 subscribers special setup tour, coincidentally also in August for the third August setup tour that I've done. Are those the crickets again? We have crickets in the roof of this basement. Crickets. You believe that? Anyway, so yeah, I hit 500 subscribers a year ago when I did my 100 subscriber special. I set a goal that a year from then I had hit 500, and I didn't know if I'd meet it or not. I wasn't too concerned about it, but I did it about a week late, but who cares? And thank you all so much, because obviously you guys are all the reason why I did hit 500 subscribers. So yeah, I will be doing my yearly tour of my setup here, and I will also be giving some updates at the end on videos that are coming up soon, as well as my future plans. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start with just this area, which is the unfinished area. It's all junked up, so I'm not going to show you most of it, but it's carpeted now. You can see the old blue ugly painted floor, and it's all chipped under here because there's a drain there that backflowed many times, and it caused me to constantly have to, it was a big mess whenever it would storm really hard. And we fixed that, and I'll show you that fix later. But yeah, this is the unfinished section, and it's now much nicer and carpeted, and the drain hasn't backflowed in like 2 years, so that's great. Anyway, walking in now, here's my room. This is where I make all my videos, and I'm incredible and just do my projects and stuff, and I'm incredibly fortunate to have all this awesome tech stuff all around, and just makes me so happy being here. But this is my second time recording this. The first time I just blabbed on and on about every single thing in the room for longer than I needed to, and it would have been like an hour long. So we're going to try to speed on through this much faster this time. Starting with this whiteboard, which is cool enough. I don't actually have a ton of use for it at the moment. I had plans to use it as like a backdrop at some point for a video, as like a prop to like point at things. I don't know, might still do that at some point. There's a cool old clock on the wall. It's like a family heirloom. We got it tuned up recently, but it's probably not going to stay here because of the wall geometry. It's so sensitive to that kind of thing that it doesn't quite work properly. It has to be kind of crooked, and the door has to be open for it to stay on. And now I'm just talking again. Alright, so I have this carpet. Its best trait, besides its looks, is that it becomes dirty incredibly quickly. Believe it or not, you see that cat hair right there, cat fur. I vacuumed this earlier today, and it's already starting to get fur on it again. And I vacuumed it less than a week before, and I had to vacuum it again today for this video. So that's lovely. Right there is where I take thumbnails for my videos when there's a larger thing I need to display. And right here on this coffee table is where I take thumbnails for stuff that's more up close. So yeah, that's the place where my thumbnails are taken for like my jailbreak tutorials. And I just have some stuff there. Powerbook charger. I have this like folding chair here with this not at all creepy cat pillow, and some bags back there. And then this big old lounge chair, and back behind this lounge chair, and the dryer just finished. Alright, is, besides the fact that I clearly didn't get back here to vacuum, that is a hole in the tile where they put in a backflow valve to stop the stupid drain from backflowing. That's like gas stuff or what? No, that's that's like the water shut off back there, I think. Now over here is what I like to call the graveyard. This is where I put all of my spare stuff and dead stuff that I just haven't gotten rid of yet, or haven't fixed up yet, or don't currently have a use for, because it's just this empty space that wasn't being used for anything else, and it's just a way to fill it. And I don't think it looks that bad. It's almost looks like organized chaos to me. There's all sorts of stuff back here, from desktops to expansion boards and just disused displays that I don't have a current need for. All those work, at least to some degree. That one's got water damage, but it does still work. And stuff like the rusty PCAT that I still need to restore are there, and that crappy IBM laptop that refuses to work, and that dead Powerbook battery, and my Desk Pro 286, which is currently there because the hard drive died. Or that desktop that works but has a bad power supply. There's all sorts of stuff here. Spare phone cases. Just all the stuff I don't have a better place for, honestly. And then, right there we have my Imac G5 box. I don't have a better place to put it, although I should probably move it there. That's probably better than there. And an old radio I need to clean up, and I don't even know if it works. Then I have the spoons of the world, and some of these really need to be polished. But, yep. And then up here, on this shelf above the fireplace, because this house is from like the 1930s, so of course it has a fireplace in the basement. And then it has a fireplace in the living room, and in the master bedroom as well. So, yeah. You don't use it, though. Anyway, up here I have all sorts of stuff, including this, glass of real parrot feathers, because one of my close friends has one that was rescued from like a pet shop locked in a small cage or something. It was some sort of shop just in the back, all lonely and alone in Europe, I think. It's been a few years since he told me the story of how he got it, but yep, that's that. Very cool. And up here I have all sorts of Android phones from my imported international, not sold in the US, at least not much. I don't even think it was. Galaxy S1, imported from Estonia, and my international model S2, and a bunch of other stuff, including the first Android phone, the T-Mobile G1, the notorious for had every operating system ported to it, HD2. I've got 2 of them. One that I keep stock, and then a slightly less nice one that I mod. The cool Evo 3D is here, and the worst, crappiest BrewOS phone ever, the Freestyle. Wanted one of those just because of how bad it was. To my newest Android phone, an HTC 10. And a cool blue 1M7, and some other stuff, but I'm not going to go through every single one. And then here's the entrance to my little, not so little anymore, area. I have to sort of just squeeze through. And then I have a picture of my cat Vivi as a kitten being a derp. I mean, he's still a derp, but he's no longer a kitten. And then some a trinket and a piece of art that 2 of my little cousins made me. My Apple Pencil's right there. I don't use it much, unfortunately. I need to get back into that. Dead MFM hard drive. Paper towels. And other useless stuff. Not useless. Assorted. That's the word I meant to use. Like this, which is for polishing. Like a polishing cloth. It's all dirty right now, which is why it's all wrapped up like that. Anyway, this is my main table, or at least the one where my main laptop's on. And this is just my gaming laptop. It's got an RTX 2060. It's a couple years old, but it works well enough for what I need it to do. I got this table for free. It just got put out by the side of the road for anyone to take. And I happened to need a desk just like this at the time, so it's not the prettiest thing ever, but it's pretty cool, and it works. And it's got a slide-out shelf thingy. Anyway, up here we also have my Imac G5, a 20-inch ambient light sensor model, and a late 2006 24-inch iMac. I use both of these, but especially the G5 for music, because they have some of the nicest speakers out of any of my classic Macs. Or any of my computers, really, even. And then my keyboard is a Razer thing, and I just turned on my laptop. Lovely. And my mouse is a G502 Hero. It's a classic, but it works great. Down here I have various stuff, like a cleaning cloth that needs to be cleaned, various commonly used chargers, and my hard drive to USB adapter, and isopropyl alcohol, because you can never have enough of that when you're cleaning old computer crap. And then I have a storage unit with a bunch of old crap I probably just need to throw away. And I have some chargers up there, and a power strip, and my tripod, which I need to replace. It is falling apart. But it still mostly works okay. Anyway, Over here is this cool translucent blue desk that I got when I picked up this iMac locally. And yeah, it came with that. This one needs some repairs. This one works fine, but this one's in crappier shape. I mean, they both work, but this one's got... It needs to have its analog board recapped. But yeah, it's got... This one's in worse shape, but it was cheap, so I couldn't resist. And it actually works better, the two. Go figure. Yep. My iFixit kit's there, and then this is all my random cleaning stuff, like... And just work stuff for, like, repairing stuff, like pliers, WD-40, blue tack, super glue, tape, cleaning cloths, a hair dryer for heating up stuff, and toothbrushes for scrubbing stuff, crappy desoldering braid, lithium grease. There's all sorts of stuff here. And then under that unit, well, the actual unit part, that's just a junk bin. That is my keyboards and mice. And then that's all my laptop chargers, and it is very full. I'm going to definitely need more space for those soon. And then here's my workbench area / soldering setup, where I do all my repairing projects and stuff. So I got my soldering iron, my flux, my solder, all that stuff. Any random screw I find ends up there. I got a fan here, and it blows straight out that window if I have it open to get rid of fumes. And got some just more random stuff, and that's a toothbrush I use just for scrubbing away flux. I need to clean this up. I cleaned it up a bit. It's normally a lot worse than this, but it still isn't great because it's just going to get just as bad in a week if I took in that time. I got some consoles there that I don't actually use that much, and more stuff up here, floppy disks, crap. These drawers I have like universal laptop charger plugs, memory cards, memory sticks, wall plugs for phones, micro USB cables, external hard drives and other adapters, all sorts of stuff really. And then down there I have my Hakko desoldering pump away in its case and my capacitor box. And then a dead Powerbook charger. And there's more, that whole unit down there, I call it the staircase unit. It's full of random cords, nothing interesting. Like all my Apple cords are down there for like iPhones and iPods and stuff. Up here I have a first gen Kindle Fire and then a newer Kindle Fire. I was going to mod this one to get Android running on it, but got it at a garage sale for like 10 bucks. Which is like what the same as they sell for on eBay, but I couldn't get the root program to work, so I'll have to go back to that at some point. I had to store my yo-yo chargers there for Powerbooks, because why not? Disused, that I don't really use anymore, Raspberry Pi display, RAM, more crap, cameras. It's just another one of my many storage units. Over here I have my Emac. It's in sleep mode right now. There it goes. Love this thing. It was my first PowerPC Mac. Oh, what you've started! Beautiful screen, beautiful speakers, beautiful design. Love this one. Imac G5, also beautiful. Absolutely love this one too. And then over here we have all my PC desktops. I got a Pentium 2 system running Windows 98. This one's a Phenom 2X4 system. Very nice one, this one. This one's got a Blu-ray drive and all sorts of doodads. It's running Windows 10. It runs it great, even though it's running at least great for a spinning hard drive. But it's a terabyte, and it's the stock drive from like 2009. Like, this thing would have been absurd back then. For a pre-built anyway. This one is a sort of cheapened version of that, running Windows 7. It's like an Athlon 2 X4 or X2, I forget. It's running Windows 7. This one's a custom-built Athlon 64 X2 dual-core system that I'm going to have a video out on at some point, if all goes right. And this is my amazing Dell Ultrasharp monitor, the best retro LCD in the world. This thing does 1600 by 1200, and it's from like 2003. It's ridiculous. Got my favorite PS2 keyboard and my random PS2 mouse and a USB one as well for these guys. And then over here I have Pentium 4s and my one Pentium D. So I have my Dimension 8300, my Dimension 2400, this HP thing, M1264N Pavilion, I believe, and my Dimension E510. I should probably get rid of at least 2 of these, but I have a sentimental attachment to, well, not really this one, but I have a sentimental attachment to these 2 and this one as well, but yeah. Anyway, here's the laptop shelf. This one took 30 minutes last time in attempt 1 to go through. Let's see if we can get it done in 10 this time around. PCs. As you can tell, first of all, as you can tell, I mainly collect laptops. Like, that's the thing about laptops. Why I like these so much, and this is the only tangent I'm going to try to go off of here, is like each one. Like, my Powerbook 540C here. It has its own unique experience. Its display is unique. Its design is unique. Its keyboard is unique, even though this one's not unique for the better. It's pretty stiff. The trackpad's unique. Just the usability of it and just the speed and software it can run, it's all unique. Whereas with the desktop, like, what's the difference between these two, right? Both of these are running XP Media Center Edition. This one's faster because it's a Pentium D. This one's a Pentium 4. So this one performs better. But it's hooked up to the same display, albeit a very nice one, the same keyboard, the same mouse, and in the end it feels like I'm using the same system unless I'm comparing them side by side. Whereas with these things, there's a unique experience with each one. This one's keyboard isn't that great. This one's keyboard is amazing. That's why I like laptops. They just each have their own quirks, and plus they're just a tinker's dream or nightmare, depending on how you look at it, because, well, these can take a bit of work to get running. We'll come back to that. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, I have 3 netbooks back there. Their model numbers don't matter, because they're pretty much all the same, and they kind of suck. This one's a HP Stream laptop. I got it running Linux right now, because I tried for like a week to use it as my school laptop. I probably still would, just to get off of the crappy Chromebooks, even though this one's slower, but I got a better one to use, so you don't really have a purpose anymore, sorry. Anyway, ThinkPad 3D5XD, love this one. Latitude CS, love this one, but it needs a new keyboard because the CMOS battery leaked. This one is a ThinkPad i1260. It took, like, I got it locally, and it's in perfect shape, besides one little crack. ThinkPad T21, it be dead. C610, Latitude, Dell. My first ever laptop, and this one's really special to me. Compact Evo N610C. That in this bag is my HP compact TC1100 tablet computer. The Science Self did some great videos on these, and I just looked up how expensive they were one day on eBay, and figured out that they were like 50 bucks at the time, so I grabbed one, and I love it. IBM ThinkPad R51E, Lenovo ThinkPad R60E, the Monster Inspiron 9100 with the battery subwoofer, the battery with a built-in subwoofer that stays on the floor because it got recalled for lighting on fire. Here's my, and it still holds charge, so I'm scared of it. Anyway, this is a Latitude D610. Oh my god. You need to shut up. Turning that off. Keeps clicking on and off because my laptop keeps drawing power and it's one of those switching supplies. Anyway, this is my Inspiron 6000, my second ever laptop. Love it. This is my Toshiba Satellite P105, HP Compact NX9420. This one's my favorite Vista Windows 7 laptop. Beautiful 17-inch, 1680 by 1050. This one's real nice. This one isn't. It's known for having failing graphics, and mine's no exception. Compact Presario F700. This is my EliteBook, HP EliteBook A530P. It's really beat up, and one of the RAM slots is dead, but it does boot. That's my third ever laptop that I had, and it used to be my daily driver for several years. This one's the Dell Vostro 1520 that my mom used daily for her job and running a business for 11 years until she upgraded in 2020. Yeah. This is an Inspiron N4110, I think. That's the model number. This is a HP G56, I think, just a cheap Celeron laptop. This one's a really beat up Dell Latitude E6420 ATG. It needs some serious work. I'm probably not going to do that work on it because it's just kind of junk. Like, everything on it is like damaged in some way, but it does boot, sort of like this one. These are two Lenovo G585s, I think. Both work. One's running 8.0 and one's running 8.1. This one is a HP G6 Pavilion. Pretty nice ever since I put an SSD in it. Flies on 8.1. This one's an HP NVM6. Pretty nice, but it needs an SSD. This one's a cheap Asus laptop. I forget the model number. It's R50 something. I forget. Core i3. And that is the one I was talking about for the blue HP Stream earlier that's replacing. It is my school laptop. A much nicer Latitude E7470 that I got at for $20 at a garage sale, and it works a lot better and it's a lot faster. It's got a Core i7, actual good specs in it. Anyway, up here we have my Latitude CPI that remains open and on display, like all the ones that are open on display are really, because the hinges are fragile, and this one has the rear housing cracking. Anyway, here's my Powerbook 145. It needs some restoration work, but I have recapped the screen in it, so the screen works great. Everything else, not so much. Anyway, this is my Powerbook 170. I love it, and it's a very rare working example that doesn't have the tunnel vision problem on the display. This is my Powerbook 180C. Working fine mostly, but it has some display electrical gremlins that need to be dealt with. I did recap it, but it's still got one minor issue. My Powerbook 540C, I talked about it earlier already. This one boots and works fine, but it's cosmetically challenged. My Powerbook 1400C, very nice keyboard on this one. Love it. Works fine, but it's a base spec and needs some upgrades. Powerbook 5300C. This one works fine. Keyboard's very stiff on it, but works fine. I recapped the DC power board, so it should be more reliable now. Still need to do the screen and motherboard though. One cap on the motherboard. My Powerbook 3400C that I did my last video on. Part 2 will be coming out soon, probably after this video, and it will involve me upgrading the hard drive to an SSD and recapping the whole thing. This thing, I think it's in sleep mode. I turned it on attempt 1 and forgot about it. But there it is. Working batteries, 4 of them. 4 working battery packs. This thing is awesome. And then these guys. We got Powerbook G3 PDQ. Works, but the hinges are shot. But they're floppy, so I can store it closed. They're not like cracking or anything. Good night. These two are my clamshell iBooks. Both work fine with some minor faults. This one's my iBook G3 Snow 600 MHz 12-inch. This is my G3 Snow 900 MHz 14-inch. The fastest G3 Apple ever sold. This one's my iBook G4 1.42 GHz, the fastest iBook they ever sold, 14-inch. This is my late 06 MacBook in white. It works fine once it's booted, but getting it to actually start can be challenging. It's got some weird issue. My mid-2010 polycarbonate MacBook works fine. Got it for free at the VCF East swap meet. Needed a couple minor repairs. The top case keyboard needed to be replaced, but now it's great. Then I have my 2 black books, my late 06 model, which works fine, and my early 2008 last one that they sold in black model that also works fine. This is my mid-2010 MacBook Pro that some doofus that I know spilled soda all over the keyboard, but it remarkably still works. Whatever soda it was not corrosive, but it may have broken the Wi-Fi. I'm not sure. I have to do some troubleshooting. The keyboard obviously needs to be replaced, but the Wi-Fi also doesn't work for whatever reason. Mid-2011 MacBook Pro. This one works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Got it for 20 bucks at the VCF East swap meet. This is my Powerbook G4 aluminum 15-inch dual-layer SuperDrive high-res model, the fastest PowerBook Apple ever sold, asterisk. This one's my early 2006 MacBook Pro, the fastest of the first-gen MacBook Pros. It's the spec-bumped model that they put out a few months later with like 2.16, I think, gigahertz Core Duo. It still identifies as MacBook 1,1. It's the fastest of the MacBook 1,1s, and I got it max RAM and SSD, so this thing's just about ultimate. Just needs a battery. Early 2008 MacBook Pro, my first ever Apple computer, and it works perfectly, and with the amount I've stressed it, it's got to have had the fixed revision graphics chip installed on it at some point, because it would have been dead by now otherwise. Then over here we have two fragile ones that I just don't want in a stack like this. That being my Powerbook G4 Titanium, 667 megahertz, in good condition, works perfectly. And then the asterisk from earlier, the 17-inch high-res dual-layer SuperDrive Powerbook G4, which is my most recent Powerbook acquisition. Got it off Mercari for a good price. It's in near perfect condition, works perfectly, max RAM, just needs an SSD, and beautiful screen, and it shouldn't be any faster than this one, but it does have a higher res screen, so yeah. Anyway, oh, and also I do have another Powerbook coming in. It's a 540 grayscale, in from eBay soon, so we'll see what happens with that. There'll be a video at some point. Anyway, then we have, oh yeah, and I have iPhone boxes up here. I don't have an 11 Pro, I don't have two 11 Pros, I don't have an 11, I don't have a 10R, or even an 8 Plus. I just collect these boxes because I think they look neat. But that is the original box for my main 7 Plus. Anyway, I have some more right here, including a DVD copy of OS X Leopard. The disc is in there and all the stuff. And right here I have some various DVD books and guides and VHS tapes of movies and random stuff. I don't collect these are just ones that I've managed to get over the years. Then I have spare batteries back here, including my 3 spare working Powerbook 3400 batteries. Should be able to see that. Yep. For Series 3400. iPhones and iPods go down here. I have all sorts of spare stuff, including this very sad 7 Plus. It does work, but it needs a new screen very desperately. But that one's important to us all because it's running iOS 14, so I can jailbreak it. It's already jailbroken. I've been using it like that for months. I have some cool stuff in here. I'm not going to go over every single one of these, but I do have all the iPhone models from the first one through to the 6. I don't have a 6 Plus or a 6S Plus, but I do have a 6S and a regular 7 as well. And I have every iPod Touch from the first one to the 4th one, along with the 6. I'm missing the 5th gen. And the coolest ones in here are going to be my iPhone 5 Silver in near mint condition, running iOS 7.1. I have a 5S running, one of these two 5Ss is running 9.2, the other one's on iOS 11. And then I have another 5S, the gold one, on iOS 10. The two space gray 5Ss need to be restored, though. They're both in very poor condition. I also have an iPhone 6 running iOS 10.2, which is very, very neat. Oh, and the gold 5S is on 10.2.1, I believe. So it is an OTA downgrade. It was never updated. I have a real iPhone 4 on iOS 6, never downgraded, just never updated, and a couple other not that interesting ones. Like I have an iPhone 6 on iOS 11. Like that's not that interesting, but yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. My coolest one of all. I have a. You can barely see it peeking out there. Rose Gold 7 running iOS 11.4.1. That one's nice. Anyway, down here I have doodads and Powerbook doors that have fallen off due to broken clips. An IBM branded USB floppy drive that I got with the Thinkpad i1260. That one's cool. And then I have spare drives, more spare drives, this mechanical cherry switch ADB number pad, the external drive caddy for the Latitude CS, that's a cool one. And then over here, I have my Sawtooth G4, 400 megahertz, dual hard drives, 1.5 gigs of RAM, works perfectly. and it's set up here. Various mugs, the dead battery bag that I need to throw out, and or get recycled properly rather. My Imac G3 box, beautiful, absolutely love this thing. Other Apple boxes, a typewriter, and this old 80s radio that was made to look like a 30s radio. So, yeah. And then I got the trash can down there. That's the most interesting part. And a backpack. And this chair, which I showed last time, but it's just a cool office chair. And I think that's it. I can't remember anything else that I forgot to mention. So, yeah, I think, oh yeah, I got the Cable's Bin of Sadness down there, if you're interested in that, and that old TV. Yeah, some cool stuff down here. Oh, and that Apple hat, that's neat. Anyway, we're gonna get this wrapped in a clean 30 minutes this time, plus whatever the intro is. So, thank you all, and the outro that I've already recorded. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so you've seen a lot of previews for videos that I might make if I get around to editing them. These lights, they're great for lighting, awful for video. Anyway, and so that's your previews there. Plans for the channel. School's starting up in like a week, so that's gonna be fun. The summer doesn't even give me much more time because I'm always, well, it does. It's not always lack of time why I don't upload videos. Sometimes it's motivation as well, but more times than not it's motivation. But rest assured, I'm not gonna quit or anything. I'm gonna keep, and jailbreak videos as well. I'm gonna keep making those because I know a lot of you are subscribed for those. But I also want to grow my retro tech audience as well. But yeah, I'm gonna keep making both kinds because I'm interested in both kinds, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for 500 subscribers, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.